Okay, our doors are in and we're ready to put in windows. I'm going to show you two different ways to put in windows. The first is very similar to putting in doors. So let's put these windows on level 2. I'm going to come over to my project browser, go to level 2, and you can see I already have an underlay of level 1 on there, which is helpful. So to put in windows, I'm going to go to architecture, go to window, and then I'm going to hit my properties panel, and let's see what we have. We have fixed windows. We can have some double casement windows. I want to put a fixed window in, and I want it to be 24 inches by 48 inches. So I'm going to put in 3 windows. Okay, I want these windows to be a foot from the side, and then I want the other one to be in the middle. So I'm going to use my dimension string. So if I go to modify, if I go to annotate and then aligned, I'm going to click on my inside wall, click on the outside of that, inside wall, outside of that. Then I'm going to select my first window. I'm going to change this to 1 foot and hit enter. I'm going to select this one, change this to 1 foot and hit enter. And then let's make this 4. So I'm going to just copy this over. Great, CO for copy. The other way I could do that, I could select this, come up here to copy. Actually, I think I have to do it as CO to do it that way. So again, CO on your keyboard and then click over. And now I want to space these within there. So I'm going to type in DI for dimension. That's another shortcut you'll use a lot. And I'm going to grab the center line of this window, the center line of that window, center line of that window, center line of that window. And I'm going to click on EQ, and that'll space those evenly. Okay. If I look at my 3D view, I can now see that those are all evenly spaced on the second floor. Let's say I want them lower or higher on the floor. I can select these. So I can hover over it and click Control to select them. And then I can change my sill height to be 1 foot, and that'll move them down on the floor. Let's say I decided that actually I want these to be wider. I can go to Edit Type, hit Duplicate, and let's say we want them to be square windows. They're going to be 48 by 48. I'm going to type in 48 inches. Okay, that just changes the name. And then over here, I'm going to change my width to also be 4 feet. Hit OK. And now I have 4 square windows going across. I could also select this and just change it to a whole different type of window if I wanted like a double hung window or whatever else. But for right now, I'm going to leave those as 4 glass windows. The other kind of window that we might have, and it looks like this might actually be a little off. Let's check. Yeah, so the way I spaced it doesn't quite work because I'm into my wall thickness here. So these are too big to fit really. So let's change them to be 2 foot 6, maybe 3 foot windows. Okay, so I'm going to select these again. Actually, let's just make the inner ones the bigger windows. So I'm going to click those two, Edit Type, Duplicate, and I'm going to make them 36 by 48. Hit OK. Oh, this one already exists. So if it already exists, I can just select it. And hit OK. Okay, great. And now I'm keeping that 1 foot margin on each end that I wasn't able to keep when I made them too big for the wall. And if I look in this view, yeah, cool. Okay. So the other thing I can do is add in Storefront. So especially for your pop-up retail stores, you will probably have Storefront, which is like that glass wall that you see at the entrance of stores. So I'm actually going to go ahead and delete this door. We'll put it in Storefront instead. And then come onto your level 1 plan. So to get there, you can go to Project Browser, double click on level 1. you're going to create a wall inside this wall. So I'm going to go to Architecture, Wall, and then go to Properties, and come all the way down here to Storefront and click on that. I now am coming over to this wall, and notice that I'm kind of hovering over it. I'm going to come here 1 foot 6 in, and I'm going to bring my wall straight across. Okay, so here is my curtain wall. I'm going to dimension DI the sides to get it kind of in the same place. So that's at 1.6, which is good. Let's see what this one's at. 1.5. I was pretty close, but not quite where I want to be. So I'm going to change this to 1 foot 6 inches to bring that across. Okay, so you'll notice it made these curtain wall mullions for me. If I look in 3D, oh, it's super tall. Okay, we don't need it that tall. So I'm going to select it, and we're going to bring this just up to level 2. And then I actually want to make it even a little bit smaller because I want my floor to be able to have some structure in there. So I'm going to do a top offset of -3 feet. And that'll just allow me to have like a little bit of structure in there. So I want to have a door in here. In order to have a double door, I still am going to need 6 feet open. And I don't know about this height. So I think to edit this well, I really need to look at elevation. So I'm going to go to my level 1. And then to see my front elevation, I can click on here and I can double click, and that'll bring up my front elevation. Okay, so let's see how tall this is. If I select it, it's 9 feet, which is fine. So here I'm checking the properties of my curtain wall. So my horizontal grid right now is at 8 feet. So that means like this is 8 feet and then this is 1 feet. I'm going to change that to be 7 feet and hit apply. Okay, so that's going to make it so this is like a transom, and then this is where a door could be. I'm going to hover over here and hit tab until I get to this. I'm going to unclick this little like thing that came up, unclick that. And over here, we're going to change this to a door. So right now it looks like there isn't one loaded in. I need to load it. So I'm going to go to Insert, Load Family. And I'm going to come back to my libraries, US Imperial, and then I want a curtain wall panel. Double click on there. Actually, no, I think it's under doors. So I'm going to go to doors. And then I want this one that says curtain wall, double storefront. And then hit open. Okay, so now that that's loaded in, when I select this, I should be able to change this to double curtain wall, double storefront. And there I have my storefront doors in. I'm going to hover over this mullion here, unclick that little pin and delete that. And that's going to give me a 7-foot door now, almost a 7-foot door, 6 foot 10. This line's at 7 foot, and then this has some thickness to it. So we can talk a lot more about how you modify other parts of this. The one thing that I want to go over right now is to make sure that we can control the width of this door. So if I go back to level 1, let's see what the width of this door is right now. I'm going to tab until I get the inside here. So it's only 4'3". For each of these to be a 3-foot door, I need this to be 6 foot. So I'm going to need to move these mullions. So if I select, even though I care about this number, I'm going to actually dimension these two. So I'm going to go DI from here to here. I'm going to select that line, unpin it, and then I'm going to change this to 6 feet and hit enter. So that makes this 5'9½". So I'm still 2.5 inches short. So here I'm going to put in another 2 1/2 inches and hit enter. Just a space there, I'll do it. Okay, and now I have a 6-foot door. So those pins are really important. Make sure that you're able to pin and unpin in order to change those dimensions. So if I go back to my south elevation, you can see I have a door that's the right size, and I have my windows up here. So if I come back to my 3D view, that's kind of how that's looking. And I can change this so I can see it in color. If I come down here, I can change the colors to realistic, and you'll start to see that that's actually glass and you can see through it. Nice work, everybody. Make sure you save.